Should we move on?
Raw rolls on.
Raw rolls on. Cody! He comes out the in-ring promo. The people are up for him. And I'm going to paraphrase I'm going to describe kind of what he talked about. But I can't even begin to do this promo. I thought if you watched the Dusty biography, did you hear a Dusty promo here just using bigger words?
Maybe to an extent. I mean, it was, I think, an attempt to maybe sound like that a little bit.
He admitted that he lost at WrestleMania and took the blame and was smart to do so because a babyface that owns up to his mistake and not calculating how far Roman Reigns and the bloodline would go. He even said, I'm sorry to the fans, apologized for not winning. So they've got to be the ones to go, oh, no, Cody, it wasn't your fault. We're not mad at you. Even if they really were mad at him, thought it was his fault. Now he's turned them around. And he admitting that the babyface admitting he lost and telling the people that he feels like he let them down is the classic way to get out of losing and letting the people down. And then he said the only people who say wins and losses don't matter are the people who have finished their story. Well, I have not. And when Paulie said that for another title shot, Cody has to earn it, then he built the thing up and he said, earn it, I am it. And the people were cheering in the right places. And I wrote at that point, he may be pulling this off in terms of cutting a promo to keep people's interest in what he's doing and their belief in the fact that, or their belief that he can do it eventually, even after this letdown. And that's why I'm thinking the emphasis that Cody put on Dusty in the biography episode, the chase. He may be pulling this off, and he went into what I consider a Dusty promo, not with the verbiage, as we've talked about. Cody's vocabulary is a lot bigger. He doesn't make up his own words. But the cadence and the meaning and the message behind Brock Lesnar and his treachery and what he did, and ended up with the way that Cody phrased it, making the people think that Brock was concerned about him. And that's why he did it. Making himself a threat to Brock Lesnar, who is way over, as we know. And so I can't do the promo justice by trying to recap it, but it was a long roundabout way to get out a challenge that he wants to fight Brock Lesnar. And since everybody knows Brock ain't there tonight, he makes the challenge for Backlash and ends up basically ordering Brock to show up next week and quote unquote answer the call. I thought this was tremendous, and did the whole promo while selling his ribs that he hurt at WrestleMania. I loved it. I don't know whether it's his idea all along or whether he's fully on board with this or whether he sat down and figured out a promo like Dusty would have if he'd have been in that position, that took as much heat off of himself and put it back on the heel for the letdown at WrestleMania as possible. But that's what, to me, this did. What'd you think?
I didn't like it as much as you. I thought it was good, at times really good, but I thought it went on a while, and I thought, for me, it was a return a little bit to the Cody, how do I put it? To me, not buying all the words that are coming out of his mouth the way they are.
Right.
To be fair, I did not watch the Dusty biography before Raw. I watched it after Raw. So maybe if I had seen that...
Well, yeah, and now you've started out with, the minor cut of meat and then went to the filet mignon instead of I get what you're saying.
I think for me, as someone who they hooked, they got me invested in everything that was going on, I still feel the letdown. And they're going to try to make Cody and Brock work. They're going to try to make it make sense in the bigger picture, which at this point, are we foolish to think the bigger picture is Cody getting the belt? After everything that just happened, are we foolish to think he's going to get the belt? I don't know. but now we get Cody and Brock. That's why I say it was good and at times really good. Cody was good at trying to make some sense out of him calling out Brock Lesnar, but it doesn't replace still the feeling of what the hell's going on with Roman and the Bloodline and Cody. And
right.
I know they're delaying it, and WWE, traditionally on the Vince McMahon in the matches, they love to draw things out and take your time. Now they're doing it with the angles and the storylines. But to me, everything has been a big whiff since WrestleMania Night 2.
If Cody beats Brock Lesnar 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring at Backlash, I will go a long way toward jumping back on the ride with them and saying, okay, this is still going somewhere. If Cody does not convincingly beat Brock Lesnar after not beating Roman Reigns at all, then Houston's got a problem.
Do you think we're going to get Brock Lesnar? We're going to find out Brock Lesnar is in cahoots with Heyman?
Probably eventually. And there wouldn't be anything wrong with that. And maybe we also find out that Brock was in cahoots with Heyman without Roman knowing about it.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and then maybe Paul's reason to Roman is, well, I didn't want to tell you plausible deniability, my tribal chief, or whatever the fuck. And then we got more drama, but Cody can't lose 2 in a row, so and beating Brock Lesnar is something that a lot of people don't do, and it doesn't happen very often, and people would talk about it and it would register. So that part makes sense. If it's DQ, count out, Brock changes his mind that day, or anything other than Cody with his hand up in the air, 1, 2, 3, then like I said, we got a serious issue here.
Do you foresee them getting Cody Rhodes as over as they had gotten him right before WrestleMania?
It's going to be hard because of the pec tear and because of the whole drama concerning the comeback. Because it was not a worked injury and people know it. They had clear visual evidence. It wasn't like just another story. This guy really did come in. We were on the ride with him. He was up here this far and he wanted to finish his story, and all of a sudden he's fucked up and it's gruesome, and he guts his way through the last match and he undergoes surgery and recovery and the packages are so good. And now we're going to come back and we still get more chase. I'm not sure I've got enough wind for more chase. But if he gets turned back once, but he beats Brock Lesnar and he beats this other guy and he does whatever the fuck else and jumps some more hurdles and gets it later on this year, maybe there's a chance they can 5-knuckle shuffle that fucking hand job back up enough to where it will be as satisfying as it was if you hadn't heard the knock on the fucking door when you were ready the last time. Maybe I'm going too personally here.
Yeah, what are you talking about? Nevertheless.
Maybe they can get it back to where it was and make it pop all the same, or maybe they can't, but every decision they make from here on out will be affecting that. That's what I think.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens next week if Brock Lesnar accepts this challenge being called out from Cody. Is that worth the fuel in the plane? That's what we'll find out.
Well, it only used to be, I remember they said Crockett's plane cost $2,000 an hour to operate. So that's, but that's been 35 years ago.